Well. Welcome, welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I'm your melanated queen and your hostess, Lil Foxy, aka Seven Wonder. And though we missed out on If Your Feelings Friday, we're doing a Sunday rendezvous, okay? So today's topic, you all, we're going to be tapping into Kevin Samuels. We're going to be acknowledging Mother's Day and also we'll be discussing Cointel Pro, you all. Okay, so thank you so much for all that could join me today. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, wonderful time with your mother. Those of you who know that we have mothers are still blessed that we have them, okay? So I have to say that. All right. Now, as always, before we get into it, what do? We join hands, we bow our heads, you all. That's exactly what we do. So right now, we're going to join our hands on this Sunday gathering. We about to have a little bit of church. Let the church say amen. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all, we're going to take it there. Right now, we want to give thanks to the mothers. We want to give thanks to those that are able to bear children, those that are able to carry children, those that were able to bring forth life into this world to make creations of energy, of basically carrying on a legacy, generations to come. Because, when you reproduce and multiply, that is your genetic DNA going out into this universe, going out into this world, and making wonderful, beautiful things for the generations to come. Those of you who are grandparents, those of you who are great grandparents, we give thanks to the divine feminine right now on today. And as you all know, Mother's Day is not just today, a day that this man made holiday. Mother's Day is every day, you all. Okay, you never stop being a parent once you come into a creation of being a parent. We all know that. So I have to say that. I also want to give thanks, you all, just for the little things, simple things in life that we take for granted. The fact that we have food for the nourishment of our bodies, the ability to breathe on our own, the fact that we are not in hospital beds, unable to breathe, the fact that we don't have to have, uh, IVs running through our veins. We can get up, we can walk, we can talk, we can see, we have our senses. These things so many people take for granted. The fact that you do have true divine beings in your favor, spiritual beings that are fighting on the other side of the other realm that we're not even privy to. The fact that we are goddesses and warriors in our own right and we continue to walk into our divinity. Let the church say amen, okay? And also, I'd like to give a testimony today because I forgot to do it last time. My testimony, you all, is that money started coming to me. So I want to say to you that money affirmations do work, okay? Out of nowhere, I had people hitting me up, individuals willing to put money in my pocket, and that's always a good thing. Just for going to show a house, you all, realtors do get paid for that. You know, what is it to take 30 minutes of your day, go show a house and get paid? Fill up your gas tank. Also, Brown Girls Are Beautiful had some shirts, for orders. And I think all the customers, all my clientele, you know how I feel about you all. I always acknowledge you and I humbly thank you for that as well. So I'm very grateful. Let's see here. Want to give a special shout out to Black Revolutionary Now. Black Revolutionary Now, if you're in the building, let the church say amen. Okay. We want to give a special thanks for this kind spirit right here. Shout out to Spiritual Streets. Thank you so much for joining today. You said peace, peace, Goddess. That's right. Goddess Day is every day. That's right. And without no further ado, I'm going to come on camera, you all. So this is what it's looking like, y'all. All right. How are y'all today? I've had a very, I don't want to say adventurous day, but I had a very physical day today. All right. Why do I say that? Y'all did some yard work. Okay. I did yard work. I did some strenuous yard work and my legs can feel it, but I needed that because being out in nature and just working with the grass and the soil and the fresh air is very much needed. We are blessed that we have a yard to work in over here. So Brown Girls Are Beautiful just wants to say, thank you to the universe for that. Even though it can be a lot of work, it is still a major blessing, you all. I got some stuff going on in the backyard I really need help with, need to have attention for it. And so I'm going to continue to seek out an individual that can help me with that. Okay. And shout out to my sister for always thinking of me and sending me these Amazon Prime packages, you all. She sent me something that is specially needed for my fence. So I thank you so much for that. All right. Okay, what are you saying? Black revolutionary, peace and love, Black power family, and all the beautiful melanated moms out there who's the responsible for humans. We thank you, okay, because this divine DNA wouldn't be here without you. All right, and it's just as much as we have the feminine, the divine feminine, we need that masculine strength, okay? So let's not think that we don't need it. And as you can see me behind me, you all, I set up my little display. I hope you like it. We have our King hoodie shirts right here. This is the B for Brown Girls Are Beautiful. It illuminates you all. I got that off Amazon. Y'all, we have Queen shirts in the building. Okay. And so I did have a Mother's Day special going on. I was selling the Mother's Day baskets, which did include a Queen shirt of your choice. We also have the Queen shirt right here on the mannequin, size extra small, you all. But they come in an assortment of sizes and colors. So if you ever, need some printing done, please hit me up. Most of my orders come from Instagram or in person or vending events. You all didn't really flock to the website like that too much, but that's okay because I'm still going to work on it some more. Right now, it's not up, but it's still in existence because I want to actually coincide my website with my Instagram. So it'll take you straight to the shopping cart. Okay. I just haven't transitioned it yet, y'all, because it takes time. So I'm working on that. But anyway, oh yes, and shout out to Miss Melanated Chicks. This is your shirt that you won. Okay, I didn't forget about you. It's a little old, but well, it's old because you did this thing like what weeks ago. But this is brand new, you all. It's not old. I just ordered this for her and I printed it yesterday. She asked for black. It is the same color that she wanted. It's the size she wanted. She wanted yellow, and this says F your feelings basically on here. And so this is an example of what it's going to look like. Okay. So that's F your feelings right there, y'all. All right. So without any further ado, what's good, Stone Cold Pete in the building? Y'all showed up and showed out and came through. Blessings to you all. Thank you so much. All right. You went and bought your white shorts for your turkeys. I can't wait to see it. Make sure you send a picture, do a video or something, because I love to see, how y'all be looking and everything in the BGAB clothing. All right. You said send the link. I definitely will. I'm going to drop the link for you, Black Revolutionary. Just a moment. This is what I want to talk about. Okay. This is what I want to talk about. So I wanted to tie this in together because I think this is a very prominent topic about the whole Kevin Samuels thing. And I wanted to intertwine it with Mother's Day because the reason that I felt this is very prevalent is because if you listen to the rhetoric of Kevin Samuels, and I'm not going to bash him because I think that Kevin Samuels came from a place of hurt. I think that Kevin Samuels did not have the best relationship with some of the women in his life. Okay. So I'm not going to bash him, especially if he did transition over to the other side. Although I feel that his situation is a little, what's the word I want to say? I question it. Okay. Because I remember looking at his last Instagram video when they said that the rumor was going around that he was no longer here. Now, he looked healthy and strong to me. He looked to be in good physical shape for being in his 50s. Nice, tall, slender, not a bad looking guy. It looks like he likes the finer things in life. Now, I think foul play could have been involved, you all. That's just what I think if he did transition over. I don't know because they lie to us so much. Now, why I said that I wanted to talk about Kevin Samuels today on Mother's Day is because if you listen to Kevin Samuels, he would have you to believe that a lot of melanated women are not worthy of the flowers and the roses that they are so just due. Okay. One thing I want to say is this, speaking as a melanated female, we go through some of the most atrocious things out here. Okay. And then I have to say this for my kings out there. You too go through a lot. You go through a lot in the corporate plantation, on the corporate arena. You go through a lot being underpaid, undervalued. You go through a lot with the stereotypical mindset that people have of you. And people, for some reason, like to say that we are aggressive, especially if you are not fair skinned and you have a darker tone. You get labeled as belligerent, irate, no matter how you carry yourself. You can come showing up as, and you know, Kevin Samuels used to dress up in a suit all the time. Sometimes it doesn't matter. People want to see you in the light in which they choose to believe you. So these stereotypical myths about our melanated people, this is what Brown Girls Beautiful sets out to change. This is the channel to show you that all of the stereotypical stuff that you see in the media is not true about all of us. And so, what I want to say about today, since it is quote unquote Mother's Day, which we know Mother's Day is every single day, is this is a day we need to recognize that, okay? So despite Kevin Samuels and his rhetoric, we have to acknowledge the females out here who are doing their due diligence to make the best of what they have despite the circumstances in which we have been dealt. We have to understand that when we come into this world as an infant, we are already fighting for our lives, because we don't know the experiments that are going on in these hospitals with these melanated babies, these vaccinations that are given to us that may not agree with our immune systems. All types of things are taking place coming into this world being melanated. And so instead of being divisive, we need to be more unified. Okay. So let's make today a day of unification. That's what I want to say about that. You said, you know, I'm sending a picture as brand ambassador. I appreciate it. Peace and love. Yes. You said it's a little peculiar. Yeah, I think so too. Very peculiar. And so let me see if I can share my screen. Let's go to Kevin Samuels, because you know what? There was a clip of him, and I remember exactly watching this clip of Kevin Samuels when he was doing his live. And he basically was speaking to the woman in the background that they allegedly said he was with. And it looked like he was actually having a slight confrontation with whomever was behind the camera lens. So I don't know if it was her, if it was someone else, but I found that to be quite interesting. So let me see if I can pull that clip up. And I'm going to drop the link. Let me see here. Here we go. So I'm dropping the link, Black Revolutionary. There you go. And I'm going to pull this up. All right, Kevin Samuels. Let me see his last video clip. Last video. Everybody has, you know, been hot and heavy on this topic, and I choose not to just jump onto something because when people, you know, falsely jump onto stuff so quick and fast and in a hurry, you just don't know exactly what you're talking about if you just jump to conclusions. So I like to take my time and examine, explore, and research things. Right here, you all, shout out to Dr. Jolly. Okay. Now, remember, I talked about Dr. Jolly on my last video. He was the one that worked with Bobby Christina, you all. Now, I had the pleasure of talking and speaking to him over the phone. I must say, he sent all of my things that I was supposed to receive, and that's what's in this. That's what's in this teacup right here. So I'm drinking this for my body, you all. So if you want a natural remedy to cure anything, to heal anything, to detoxify yourself, I would highly recommend you reach out to Dr. Jolly. You will receive your stuff in the mail quick, fast, and in a hurry. He plays no games. And so I'm going to be, you know, on my routine here, on the daily routine with these herbs, and we're going to see how these things work out. Mm. And it doesn't taste bad, y'all. I mixed this with some lemon and some honey. Okay, let me see if I can play this clip for y'all. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. Stone Cold, you said, I think he either took a jab. Ooh, right. Did he take that jab, y'all? Did he get that injection? I don't know. I don't know. That's something that they probably don't want us to find out. But let me share this screen because I want to look into something here. Okay. Chrome tab. Okay, here it is. Now, this is the video that I watched when they said that he had succumbed to his death. All right. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully, you can. All right. Y'all know how it is. They got the little commercials all up in the way. But it's about to play in just a second. F your feelings. I know it's not Friday, y'all. All right. Y'all know how it is. Oh, what? I'm looking at my own self. What am I doing here? Hold up. But it's about to play in just a second. Hold on. I pulled the wrong thing up. My bad. How did I do that? Okay, let me try this again, y'all. F your feelings. F your feelings. Kevin Samuels. Okay, here it is. All right, so this better work this time. Push play. Yeah, I hate fumbling around with this stuff. Wait, how did it get the Hassan Campbell? I'm not trying to watch Hassan Campbell. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Got it. Now, let me share my screen, y'all. My apologies for this. Share screen. Share screen. Window to the wall. Here it is. There we go. All right. I got it, y'all. All right. So there we go.
So the lady who was supposed to be playing with Kevin Samuels the night before he passed, and actually that morning, has from the Midwest, no need for a one-night stand. My family and close friends know I am a good-hearted person. People are evil, but sinning you love. Now, like some type of suspicious way. Now she said that she had.
I'm skipping past this because I want to get to the video if they'll show it.
A few celebrities that he was a nasty. My thoughts are was yes, you stepped up to the challenge and this, and if you want to move forward together with us, the likes and everything will go.
All right, so this clip is not showing it, y'all. Why is it not showing it? I don't know. F your feelings, F your feelings, F your feelings. Friday, Black Revolutionary, you in the building, right? You up here? Let me I thought you were in here. F your feelings. All right, so Kevin Samuels arguing. Here it is. Yeah, he was something else, y'all. He was a Pisces. He was a Pisces. You know them Pisces, they something else. Okay, got it. So stop sharing. Here we go. All right, here he is.
Anywhere you go, anybody you know, somebody gotta know me, and we're.
Everybody feel like they gotta have their little dialogue on the video. I just want to see him, y'all. Like, forget all the other stuff. Come on, show the video. Let's see.
How incompetent these people are.
Everybody think I don't want to talk about people. I'm just gonna be quiet. Anyway, you can see he's very smooth, very debonair. Let me just put in Kevin Samuels' last video. because everybody on here wants to have commentary, and I'm not trying to listen to their commentary because sometimes people can talk too much and it's irritating. So I just want to get straight to the point. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that think they got a camera and a mic thinks they're a YouTuber and a journalist. See, like, you see how? Okay, let me see. Here it is, y'all. He said, I don't want you to be on there. So whoever it was, he was trying to make sure that they were not in the way of the camera being seen by the audience. I'm gonna play that back again so y'all can see it and hear it. He said, they see me, I'm trying to protect you. So I remember this was on his Instagram live stream because I was watching it. And I was wondering because he seemed annoyed and irritated by whoever it was on the other side of the camera. You heard him say, I'm about to get on back on camera. And so whoever it was, he wanted them to get out of his way. All right, let's get it. How did I pop up, y'all? Shouts out to me. Okay. Yes. And if you'd like to subscribe to my backup channel, y'all, Seven Wonder. Okay. Brown girls are beautiful. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, is the police report. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen as well. Sharing the screen. Sharing is caring, y'all. Here it is. Everybody has already seen the infamous police report. I'm pretty sure you have. If you haven't, I just felt the, audacity to pull it up right here, right now, so you can see it and we can go over it together. Of course, they said the reported date was May 5th around 7:54. I'm assuming that's AM, because if it were, I think it goes to military time. So I think this was in the AM. Excuse me, zone 2, beat 206. I'm not sure what that means. Event start date May 5th. Excuse me. Time 6:04. Event end date 7:20. Okay. So then it says offense code is miscellaneous, which is a non-crime. I don't know how they determined that because it's very suspicious. Offense location. This is his address, you all. He lived in a very affluent apartment. Actually, it is very pricey where he lived. If you want to look that up, it was in Buckhead. Everyone knows that Buckhead is the upper echelon part of Georgia in Atlanta. Okay, then it has involvement. Then I'm assuming, I used to read police reports for what I used to do, but I don't know all of this. But it says involvement W1. I'm assuming that means witness one. And then it says P2 right here. I guess that means person two. And then right down here, person one, which is Kevin Samuels. I don't know what SB1 is or SB2. I'm not sure what that is. They didn't put the home address. The Hortensia Alcantara. Whoever wrote this police report, the officer did not spell too well. Now, allegedly, she was born in 1990. allegedly Kevin Samuels was born in 1965. There are conflicting reports about his age. They're saying he's 53, 56, and 57. So he can't be three different ages. So that's very confusing and conflicting right there. But I did some additional research, and it is my suspicion and opinion that he was about around 53 years of age, just from what I saw. Now, I could be incorrect. And he did move around. He lived in Dallas, he lived in Georgia, and he lived in Oklahoma, according to my research and what I pulled up as well. Now, they said that this woman is a female, native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. That's incorrect. If you look at her name, you can tell that she's Hispanic, aka Latina. So I don't know how they got that messed up. And then here's the narrative. On May 5th, 2022, I, Officer J. Figueroa, okay? Now, that last name tells me that he is Hispanic. So how does he not recognize one of his own? Most Hispanics recognize other Hispanics. So how did he say that she was a Pacific Islander or Hawaiian? He should have put on there Hispanic. So I don't know if he was trying to mislead the police report or what. Maybe he just didn't get it. Unit number 2205 responded to call at 297 East Paces Ferry Northeast Apartment number 1605 regarding a person injured. Upon arrival, I, Officer Figueroa, observed the fire department engine number 21 performing CPR to a black male unresponsive on the floor of his apartment. I then met Miss Hortensia Alcantara, who identified the male as Mr. Kelvin, Kelvin Samuels. I don't know if this is done deliberately or what, because there's a clear difference between Kevin and Kelvin. Miss Alcantara stated that she met Mr. Samuels last night, came to his apartment, and spent the night with him. Miss Alcantara, and this is another conflicting statement because I just watched a live stream yesterday from one of Kevin Samuels' alleged one of his friends saying that he had known her about 3 months prior to her coming to the apartment. So already we have conflicting statements. So this says that she met him the night prior and then she came to his apartment. So she was a jump off, y'all. And then I find that very strange because, and I'm not trying to be condescending, but Kevin Samuels gave me Tyler Perry vibes. Like if you take a picture of Tyler Perry and like when Tyler Perry dresses up like Medea and put it next to Kevin Samuels, if you look at the smirk on his face, they resemble, in my opinion, they look alike. So that is why I was very suspicious if Kevin is not on the Metro side of things, not unless he went both ways. Now, I don't know. Okay. But there are reports that his lifestyle is very prevalent in Atlanta. And if anybody's familiar with Atlanta, the LGBTQ community is very high and thriving out in that location. So that's why I found that this whole scenario seemed to be a little suspicious to me because I looked at Kevin Samuels. He likes to pose a lot. He likes to sashay, okay? And he likes to vogue for the camera, if you will. All right. So anyway, so allegedly, she came to the apartment, spent the night with him. Also said that early morning, Mr. Samuels complained of chest pain, and she attempted to help him, but he fell on top of her and proceeded to notify 911. Everybody is just assuming. Sorry, something on my lip. Everybody's just assuming because this report says that he fell on top of her and she spent the night that they were getting it in. I don't even know. I can't say because we weren't there. Based on what I saw, it's really hard to say. I don't even know. Miss Alcantara also said she requested the 911 operator to contact the front desk for a defibrillator to keep Mr. Samuels responsive until Grady arrived because she is a nurse, allegedly. Grady bus number 741. Mr. Samuels was later transported to Piedmont Hospital by Grady bus number 741. Okay? So that's what that says. Now, if you all would like to see a picture of the alleged individual, I can pull that up for you. She's floating all over the internet. I'm sure you've seen pictures of her. Let me see, Hortensia, Ortenciaalcantara. Okay. Um, Let me just take the police report out and pull up the images. What are y'all saying in the comment section? You said name, birth dates are very important in the matrix. So when they presenting them wrong, it's some foolery going on. I agree, spiritual streets, and I think that gematria is taking place here. Because why do they want to keep playing around with his date of birth? Why do they want to keep playing around with his age like that? That doesn't make sense. Like either he's a certain age or he's not. You know what I mean? So let me share this screen. So I'll pull up this young individual that was found at the scene of the crime, you all, alleged crime. Here she is, a thought trot. Okay. So this looks like a nurse to you. I don't understand it. Now, allegedly, what did he die on? May 5th is when he was reported dead. So on May 4th, what was May 4th, you all? I got to see. What was May 4th? May 4th was, I'm trying to find the calendar. Let's see. May 4th would have been, let's count back. Okay, was a Wednesday. May 4th was a Wednesday. So if May 4th was on a Wednesday, she was out at his apartment. They had just met at the restaurant. Like the story doesn't make sense if she's a nurse. Like I'm not saying nurses can't go out and have a good time, but this is very suspicious. Okay, this is her right here. These are images they've taken from like her Instagram and things like that. Okay, I don't even know how he knew her, what their ties were. I don't know if they tried to have a business deal, a business arrangement. I don't even know. Because judging from Kevin Samuels' rhetoric, this is the type of woman that he tried to tell men to stay away from. He tried to tell men that they should have women that have something to offer. So I'm trying to figure out, what does she have to offer? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Stone Cold P. You said she's in the medical field. Sounds fishy to me. That's right. So, how do we know that she didn't give him something to make his heart stop? Because let's pull up the medical examiner report, you all. That's floating around too. But the last time I saw it, it was inconclusive. Examiner report on Kevin Samuels. Y'all, this is a hot mess right here. Here it is. Let me share this with y'all. Okay, here it is. Medical examiner's press report. Now, this is the press report. So maybe this is what they will allow the public to see, because I don't understand how the police could jump to conclusions in that police report and put on there no crime, it's no criminal offense. That was clearly documented on the police report. But how can they say that without assessing the body and finding out what the medical examiner had to say? Now, on this report, you will clearly see that it says Kevin Samuels, age 53. And I'm going to show you why I think he might have actually been 53 years old, because I did some digging and research, and my records showed that on every address that he had, it showed that he was 53 years old. Date of death, May 5th, 2022. This is the Office of the Fulton County Medical Examiner. Performed an autopsy on Mr. Kevin Samuels on Friday, May 6, 2022. Okay? Cause of death is pending. Manner of death is pending. So how is it that everybody is out here claiming that his heart stopped due to drinking Red Bull when this is the cause of death is pending? Anytime a person goes into cardiac arrest, that simply means your heart stopped. Of course, if you're dead, your heart is going to stop. So they can easily say cardiac arrest for any of us if we're no longer here, because our heart is no longer pumping. So you're going to have a cardiac arrest, but is that what really caused this? Was it a heart attack? We don't know, because the medical examiner doesn't even know. So people keep jumping to conclusions. you know? And to me, that is tampering with an investigation when you make false narratives, false reports, and splatter them all over the internet. Plaster them. That's the word I was looking for. Plaster them all over the internet. So I don't think kindly of that. All right. Now, I want to do my due diligence. Now, there's a website, let me see, as a realtor that I was turned on to, and this helps you locate people. Okay. Now, I'm going to put in Kevin Samuel's information. Okay. And actually, his name was Kevin Roshon, Roshon. Kevin Roshon Samuels. I'm going to do a search. Okay. Now, I am not even going to put in a state. I'm just going to put in his first, middle, and last name. Spiritual Streets, you said Stone Cold P, someone trying to paint a certain narrative. Okay, you said you're getting feedback backstage. I'm not sure why. Let me check. Let me make sure it's not me, y'all. Can y'all hear me okay? All right, I sound clear to myself. I just had to do a sound check. All right, let me share my screen. Just a second. I'm going to show you what I found. Okay, here we go. All right, so right here, you're going to see where it says Kevin Roshon Samuels, primary residence 7150 Gaston Avenue, Unit 106A. This was when, now, if you looked at some of his videos, it talked about when he used to live in Dallas, okay, Dallas, Texas, 75214. This is an apartment complex. And he lived in some very nice apartment complexes. Kevin R. Samuels, I don't think that's him. This one is in Brooklyn, New York, okay? There's one in Beaumont Avenue, Portland, Oregon. This one is in Myrtle Beach. This just has phone numbers. This one, okay, now this is definitely him. It says last updated 11 years ago, but I want you to look at the date of birth because it was reported that he's born on March 13th. He was a Pisces, okay? Now it says 1969, 53 years old. So how is it that everybody in the media keeps getting his date of birth wrong, saying he was born in 1965? Okay, this tells you primary residence 3401 West Palmer Lane, apartment 1036, Austin, Texas, 78727. Now here's another one. Born on March 13th, 1969. This is another record because he probably moved. People move a lot. And so it says that he was in Houston, Texas. And it gives you the address 1325 Greens Parkway, apartment 54. All right. Now, everybody knows, if you have been paying attention, that it was alleged and said that Kevin Samuels came from Oklahoma. He actually went to college at the University of Oklahoma, or Oklahoma University. Okay. Now, this tells you again that his date of birth is March 13th, 1969, 53 years old. Primary residence was actually a house. It was like a rancher style house. 615 Northwest 49th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So how is it that they're steadily telling us that he was born in 1965? I'm curious as to know. Does anybody have an answer to these questions? Y'all let me know if y'all know. All right, Black Revolution. I'm bringing you up. Have an answer to these questions. Y'all let me know if y'all know. All right, Black Revolution. I'm bringing you up. Have an answer to these questions. Y'all let me know if y'all know. All right, Black Revolution. All right, I'm going to mute you, Black Revolutionary, for a second. Okay. So that's why I think it's something far more sinister going on than what meets the eye. You know, I talked on here about Cointel Pro. All right. How Cointel Pro was invested into the melanated community. And I wanted to talk about that. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm probably going to talk about it later on. But if you all paid attention to my live streams that I did on Behold a Pale Horse, you will see that William Cooper touched on some of these things that takes place with the antics and the media and all the false narratives that are orchestrated to us. All right, I'm gonna unmute you, Black Revolutionary. With the antics and the media. All right, so you need to probably turn something down or mute something because you have stuff turned up in your background, Black Revolutionary, because we are hearing feedback from you. Because you have, yeah, definitely hearing feedback from you. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Definitely hearing feedback from you. But there's an echo. Like
I don't know why. Hold on a second.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
But
Okay, hold on.
yes, but I can hear you though.
Yeah, I'm getting feedback for some reason. I don't know why, but it's feedback I'm getting.
Oh, you said I have to close what YouTube window do I have open? I don't have a YouTube window open, Stone Cold. Let me see. I don't have any YouTube windows open other than this one right here. Oh, okay. So you're Black Revolutionary. I think you have to close your YouTube window. Thank you, Stone Cold, for that. Okay. So anyway, while he gets it together, we're gonna continue on here. So with that being said, Kevin Samuels had a lot of rhetoric.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Are you back? All right. We can hear you. There's no feedback. So if you want to go ahead, speak your piece, King. We are ready for you.
I closed it, but I don't know what happened.
Oh, you're fine.
I
We
can't
can hear
even
you
hear
now.
anything.
Yeah, there's no echo.
So let me see.
I
Check
think
1 2.
he's still having
You
technical
know,
difficulties,
everything here
y'all.
seems fine on my side.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Phone.
We can hear you. Let me try to send you a message in the private chat. We can hear you. All right, y'all. So anyway, with that being said, we're gonna go on because I want to touch on some things as it. Yeah, we can hear you.
Check.
I'm gonna mute you for a second. So I'm gonna get into the whole COINTELPRO thing, you all, because I think it's very important information and why I feel that it is my opinion that Kevin Samuels has some other dealings going on, okay? And I don't want to besmudge his name. I don't want to throw dirt on him while he's in his grave or if he's in the grave. But I do have to say that I think certain people are put in place to cause chaos and confusion, okay? And we talked about this the other week in Behold a Pale Horse. And then this goes into what I was talking about with COINTELPRO. Now I'm going to share my screen because I think this is very prevalent information, and I think it actually ties into what I'm talking about right now. So here we go, y'all. All right, Black Revolutionary, I'm going to unmute you, and I hope you've gotten it together over there. All right. Unmute. Oh, he muted himself. Okay, so never mind, y'all. So if you look at the screen here, you will see where it says COINTELPRO, the secret FBI program, COINTELPRO. Why did the FBI target Black activists for fighting equality? Okay. COINTELPRO 2020, how the FBI continues to disrupt the fight for racial justice. This one right here is the new COINTELPRO, meet the activists the FBI labeled a Black identity extremist and jailed for 5 months. You all check this stuff out. Secret COINTELPRO is alive today, a brief history of it, and even how they orchestrated and attacked the Black Power movement, the Black Panther movement, and even some of them in the Black Panthers were working with COINTELPRO. Okay, so there's no way you're going to sit here and tell me that it's not possible that Kevin Samuels or the likes of a Kevin Samuels was not used to infiltrate the melanated community to provide divisiveness, and to provide chaos and to besmudge, okay, if you will, the divine feminine called the melanated female, as we stand here today on Mother's Day talking about Kevin Samuels, okay? Because he said a lot of foul things about women. He said a lot of foul things about some men. But I think what we have to do is look beyond, okay, the narrative that they're pushing and see why are they pushing the story that's being fed to us. And I think we're getting our answer right here with Cointel Pro. So let's go ahead and take a look into one of these videos. I'm going to play this for you all.
This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalo. Team protest against police brutality, and that the FBI learned about the protests from a video on InfoWars, a far-right website run by Alex Jones.
Shout out to Alex Jones, y'all. You know he's very controversial, but I used to listen to him back in the day, and that's how I found out a lot of my information. That's how I found out about the Bohemian Grove. I found out a lot of things through Alex Jones. I don't watch him anymore. He's very hyperactive, very he's very orchestrated, y'all. I don't know why he's so hyper like he is. But anyway, shout out to him for whatever, he did offer by way of information.
Arrest comes after a leaked August 2017 report from the FBI's Domestic Terrorism Analysis Unit revealed that the FBI claiming, quote, it is very likely Black identity extremist perceptions of police brutality against African Americans spurred an increase in premeditated, retaliatory, lethal violence against law enforcement.
So, with this being said, okay, how is it that they're able to have police brutality against melanated people and then tell melanated people that you cannot basically retaliate? You're fighting for your lives. Like I said, from the time we're born as melanated babies, we're fighting for our lives each and every day. So we do not need the likes of the narrative that was pushed, okay? Narratives like Kevin Samuels push, narratives like we hear a Derek Jackson pushing, okay? People are being misconstrued. People with mental illnesses, with emotional sicknesses are coming onto this YouTube media site. They're coming into social media and they are influencing the minds of millions, okay? And this is a very dangerous thing. So, like I wanted to say, the melanated people have been under attack for a very long time, for hundreds of years. What is it? I'm going to pose this question like I always do. I'm going to say this again. What is it about us that they know about us that we are so heavily attacked from the time we're born to the time we transition off of this earth? What is it about us that we have to be under all these different brutal attacks, psychological warfare, emotional warfare, physical warfare, mental warfare, and spiritual attack?
And will very likely serve as justification for such violence. Civil liberties groups have slammed the FBI report comparing the memo to the FBI's covert Cointel program of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s counterintelligence program, which targeted civil rights movement. Many have also noted the FBI memo was dated August 3rd, only a few days before the deadly white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where white supremacist Ku Klux Klan members and neo-Nazis killed an anti-racist protester, Heather Heyer, and injured dozens more. The FBI does not seem to be surveilling and targeting white people who post violent things to social media, including multiple white men who've recently carried out mass school shootings. Demetrius Kabuchis, who shot dead 8 students and 2 teachers last week at Santa Fe High School in Texas, had posted on his Facebook page a picture of a T-shirt reading "Born to Kill." Nicholas Cruz, the 19-year-old man who killed...
All right. And the list can go on and on and on. I think you get the gist. We've all witnessed what they do to people. Now, this guy right here is going to be sharing his story. So let me just fast forward to him.
Pretty much on December 12th, around 6 a.m. in the morning, me and my son was at home breasting when FBI agents rammed our door and immediately rushed us outside in our underwear, under gunpoint to be arrested. And for me and my son to be, separated and overall me be hauled off jail.
Now, I want you to think about the psychological mindset of his son having to bear witness to something like this, having to have law enforcement to come into his place of residence and experience something like this. And you tell me that's not traumatizing for a child? You're telling me when they grow up in society, that's not going to mentally have an effect on them or an impact? And does he get counseling? Does he get any type of reparation? Does he get any type of grants for his emotional abuse? Because that's what it is, for his psychological abuse. But then they want to go around and besmudge the melanated man and tarnish his character and say that he is violent, that he is erratic, that he is unstable. But look at all these mental mind games you play, even on melanated children. And you think he's supposed to grow up and be normal in an abnormal society where war is waged upon him. And then you have the likes of a Kevin Samuels not adding fuel to the fire, basically adding fuel to the fire by talking about the melanated woman. You breaking up the melanated family. Now, they can flip in and say that he wanted melanated people to get together, but at the end of the day, was he with a melanated woman? No. Who was he with? Okay. I always say, look at who the person is with behind the scenes, and that tells you how they really feel. Let's continue.
I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. Well, we had today's show in Texas where a black activist says he is the first person to be targeted and prosecuted under a secretive U.S. surveillance effort to track so-called black identity extremists. On December 12th, activist Rakim Balagoon awoke to armed FBI agents storming his Dallas home apartment. He was then jailed for nearly 6 months without the possibility of bail as the FBI investigated him for domestic terrorism, in part because of his Facebook posts criticizing police brutality.
There you have it. You cannot have a freedom of speech. You cannot practice your. You think these amendment rights they don't pertain to us, because you can get arrested for your thoughts, and if they had a chance, they would arrest you for your dreams. So you cannot post what you really feel, what you really think on social media, because you're basically ridiculed as a black extremist, an activist, because you made a Facebook post.
He was released earlier this month after U.S. attorneys failed to prosecute him. Balagoon is a founding member of the group's guerrilla mainframe and the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. The group scored.
Make note, they said the Huey P. Newton Gun Club.
Coordinate meals for homeless people, organize youth picnics, run self-defense classes, protest police brutality, and advocate for the rights of black gun owners. The Guardian reports investigators began tracking him after he was part of a 2015 protest against police brutality.
Now, what is wrong with that? He's making meals for the homeless, but you target him of all people. But you let the KKK storm the streets. You let these so-called police with badges, aka slave catchers, because that's where it was originated from anyway. That's how the police got in position, was because they used to be actual live slave catchers. You let the judge that dresses in a robe and then goes home and puts on a white sheet, okay? You let them sit and basically they get to judge the punishment of these melanated men. These melanated men that are making lunches for the homeless and get thrown into jail. All because you want to target and label them as black extremists. Now, I thought that every living species should have the right to defend itself. Is that not the natural nature of law, or the natural laws of nature is the right to defend yourself? So you're trying to take away someone's fundamental right to bear arms, their fundamental right to thrive and live and exist on this planet that was put here by the Creator. Who is it that these Caucasians and these colonizers come to someone else's land, someone else's territory of the indigenous people, meaning us, the Native Americans, and tell us that we don't have a right to defend our honor after we have been robbed, oppressed, threatened, ridiculed, and basically murdered in cold blood. Do you see the psychological illness of this all? So when people talk about Kevin Samuels and this and that and what he's doing for the melanated community, I didn't see him talking about this. I didn't see him really defending the female's honor, because I have seen videos of melanated women being body slammed. And when I say body slammed, pregnant woman body slammed on the pavement of a parking lot, belly sticking out. She looked like she was at least 8 months. And to add insult to injury, there's no way the police didn't understand that she was pregnant because she started screaming, "My baby, I'm pregnant." Do you think they cared? They put this woman in handcuffs, had her on the ground. Now, what would have happened? They could have killed her unborn baby. Is that not murder? But you know what? When it comes to melanated people, I guess no one cares. Our cries go unheard. So, how long do we entertain the likes of a Kevin Samuels when he wants to talk about the melanated woman? When the melanated woman is the most devalued, the most criticized, the most unprotected, neglected, disrespected. Okay? Did anybody talk about that? No. All they see are her flaws. But throughout all these centuries, she still sits here and bears fruit for you all, takes her DNA and mixes it with you so you can coexist with her. And this is all people could do, is criticize the melanated woman, not understanding when she goes into the corporate arena, she has to be devalued, be underpaid, overworked, almost like a slave, working to her grave, raising children, and then people want to blame her for being a single mother. But you have people that are misguided, okay? Misguided male species out here that think it's okay to leave her in dire straits. But yet and still, she bears children and raises them. She might not raise them at the standard that she wants to because she doesn't have the help she needs, but yet she still stays there and raises them while the male gets to take the easy way out. So I didn't see Kevin Samuels acknowledging that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I'm going to see what y'all are talking about in the comment section. Okay. You said, was Kevin Samuels real or was he Memorex? I don't even know. To be honest, I'm not even sure. They arrested Jamal Rashad recently too with no bail. They're attacking the black influencers. Jamal Rashad was arrested for what? Whether we listen to them or not. He said, that's a hook, arrested for your dreams. Wow, it is. Black Revolutionary, are you still there? Let me see. I'm going to type it in the chat. Black Revolutionary, are
Peace,
you?
peace. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Okay, good.
Okay, it seems like it's running good now. I think I figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm glad that you are able to join us. Are you shuffling around? Oh, there you are.
I'll put on my camera. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he got
Yes,
the whole setup with the. Oh, you got your microphone and everything.
yeah, yeah. Check 1, 2. Yeah. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah.
I see some people left the stream. You know what? Because they probably thought I was just going to sit here and keep talking about Kevin Samuels and speculating on Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is not the star of the show over here. So they can leave and flee if they want. But what I'm talking about is something far more prevalent than the Kevin Samuels. But I'm going to stop and I'm going to give you the floor because I know you've been waiting for a while, King.
Yeah, yeah. Peace, peace. First of all, I just want to give respect to all the black mothers out there. we are the creator of civilization. And yeah, just want to pay respect to my mom and your mom and all the moms out there. I mean, who hold it down every single day. And without them, all right, I mean, it ain't no us. So yeah, I just want to pay respect for that and pay respect to you, and this platform. So
Thank you so
there's
much.
some feedback I'm hearing, I guess, in your background.
I don't
Yeah, like
hear
a
the
lot of feedback. Yeah, I keep
no,
hearing it.
I don't hear the feedback. Let me just double check.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. So
Let's see. Yeah, I don't hear Stone Cold Pete. Can you tell me, do you hear feedback? Because I don't hear it. He said he was arrested because his baby mother accused him of something related to a child that's hers. Wow. That sounds like the brother polite thing all over again. And Spiritual Street said, "What's up?" So, yeah, there's no feedback on my end. There's probably something you're hearing on your end.
yeah, I could hear it. No, it's quiet by me, but I could hear it, and I could hear it when I stop speaking. Like it comes on like louder for
Okay,
some
so the
reason.
the chat is saying that I sound good. So it's
And
not
how do I sound good? Well,
no, they
I
said
could
I
hear it
sound
inside
good.
from.
They said I
Oh,
sound
okay,
good.
okay.
So it's probably something that
Can
you
they
have.
hear me clear though? Can they hear me
Yeah, we hear
clear?
you clearly.
Okay, okay. So I don't know what's going on here. I had to dibble and dabble inside here this setting to make sure. I mean, because I was getting the feedback the first time I came in, like it was looping. So I keep hearing like myself, like talk over myself. So I'm like, so
Okay.
so
It's
I had
probably
to
it might be
fix that.
something you have pulled up on your I'm
Uh,
not sure.
but I fix it now. But I mean, I'm just saying the feedback in. So I mean, I had to put a microphone on. Um, and that's a headset to speak. So I don't know if it's that, but it's just I guess I mean I just gonna deal with it, whatever.
Put in
So
the microphone, man.
yeah, look at you with the Caribbean accent. That's
I have
funny.
a Caribbean accent. Let me stop.
Oh, you have a Caribbean accent, don't you? Almost sound like you're British or something.
Oh, let me think. Let me think, man. Let me think. Look,
No,
my accent
you,
keeps switching up.
you gotta sound Trini and thing, You gotta bring in that kind of accent and thing and speak like this.
Let me know now.
Let me know that. Yes. So this is all what I want to say with the whole, Kevin Samuels, debacle. Um, I I try to look at everything at a more, you know, scholastic view. And I mean, I try to look at everything like in a broad like spectrum. And sometimes when people come to us and song and gird and saying the right things, we are always a suspect. And that is a mental dysfunction we have. Sometimes you're right, but sometimes you're wrong. And I mean, let me give you a perfect example. When Malcolm X first came out and he was calling out a white man, right, and he was calling out like police brutality, and and the situation he was going through, a lot of black people didn't trust him. A lot of black people didn't like him. It's really funny because I mean, I listened to like an interview that um Greg did Greg Greg Dick Gregory Dick Gregory had, and he also say when he the first time he heard Malcolm X speak, I mean, like he didn't like him, and and they were saying, who's this black man like calling out a white man, whatever. So they were all suspect against him, and so I guess more into when they get to really know who he is. And I mean, a lot of people say, okay, yeah, maybe, you know what I mean, like he's for us. And we can't forget the infamous FBI tape that was saying on it where they were trying to basically tell him like to sell out his people, and I'm even gonna pay you. And like he didn't know what I mean, he was being recorded, and he, you know, Malcolm X say straight up, yo, hey, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna sell out my people for nothing. And so we all know, but still we're gonna have people, or you have white supremacy who gonna come and drop things to say, oh yeah, I mean, he was homosexual, he was this, he was a sellout, whatever. And uh, uh, you know, unless if we have conc- concrete proof of that, right? We just speculating, and like sometimes we could have a rumor, you know, that he said, she said, and all of a sudden it turns into something. Well, you know, though, well, it must be true. And sometimes we live in a world right now where we living off of sound bites, and we hearing people saying this from this corner. We hearing people saying this on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, whatever. And we don't go and do our due diligence to find out if it's true or not. We just run with it. And white supremacy, we understand. White supremacy, no, we are reactors. We are not proactors. So we just jump out the window and just say anything. Now, with the Kevin Samuel thing, do I know him personally? No. Um, do I know the situation with him and his death and his sudden death? No. And I mean, and sometimes we will never really know, because I mean, sometimes the truth gets so convoluted with a lot of BS. Sometimes we don't hear what actually happened. And white supremacy do a very good job of that, because they don't want us to find out the truth. I mean, they just want us just to be speculating on this, and he said this and she said this, whatever. Now, as far as I know, with him, um, you know, it's funny because when I look at social media, you know, the narrative on the brother is, oh yeah, and a lot of people is happy and is celebrating that he died, whatever, and they only mentioning what he was saying to call that woman. Never, I'm hearing the narrative of how he was going in with men with the same energy. Nobody wasn't talking about that. So right there, we have a narrative already done. We have a biased negative. Oh yeah, he was bashing women and he was doing, and I mean, he was telling women this and all kind of stuff. But nobody ain't talking about how he's going in on the men on the same thing. And the way I see it, you know, you see a brother who dress well, you know, who speak well, whatever. We always want a good example. We always say, okay, we're looking for a good example, man. You know, pull up your pants and dress nice and get a good haircut and speak well, whatever. But when we do that, sometimes we get ridiculed for it. I mean, we not, I don't know, this brother or sister is too good to be true. We always want to criticize everything, you know. And I know there's agents, you know, among us, but we can't think like that for everyone, because sometimes someone could come and their heart is in the right place, you know what I mean, and they ain't perfect, yo. They're gonna say certain things, you know. And it's funny because nobody ain't playing all the videos and all the narrative of people who saying, man, you know what though, yeah, he's kind of harsh with his words, but he's right. He's absolutely right. And you know, and Malcolm X say, you throw a rock in a yard, when that rock hit whatever dog in the yard, that is the one, and you know, that's the one who's barking the loudest, because sometimes we need to hear stuff about our situation, and sometimes we don't like to hear it because we just like to hear beautiful lies.
True.
We
That is
don't like to hear the ugly truth about ourselves. And that is the problem that we have. We always talk about us being good and us want to do better, but we don't look at ourselves, right? And when somebody come and blunt, honest with you, all of a sudden you want to fight them, you want to kind of stuff. You never take a second to say, "Hey, man, you know what, though? I, I gotta cool my ego for a minute, and maybe that person is right. I mean, because we know ourselves. I mean, you can lie to other people, you can lie to your friends, you can lie to your spouse, whatever, but you can't lie to yourself. You know the change you have to make. You know the change you have to make, and sometimes it hurts. Sometimes you don't want to hear it because change force you to do something that you don't want to do. It's
that's
very
true.
uncomfortable because we get so used in this routine, like we don't want to change certain things, but we don't want to hear certain things too as well. And I'm not here to ridicule anybody, because at the end of the day, he's still one of us. He's still our brother, whatever. I mean, and unless if I see something that is overwhelming, that, like, okay, then I could speak in it. But we have to sometimes learn to kind of say, man, you know what, though, I'm just gonna hold I'm just gonna hold my judgment until I know certain things, and Stone Cold P say, accountability. Yeah, yeah, man, you're right, brother. And we don't like accountability. We always want to point out somebody else faults and this, whatever, and nobody listen. None of us will agree to each other views and comments and belief 100%. None
Mhm.
of us. I don't care your friend, your spouse, your best friend, your mother, your father, your grandma. You you never agree with nobody in your family 100%, right? But you don't want to wish them bad, or what I mean, or wish death in them, or be happy when they
Mhm.
die, whatever.
Mhm.
That's the problem with other people. We want to agree with somebody 100% in the way how we feel. That I mean, in order for them to accept us, that will never work, right? So
Mhm.
we have to take people for who they are, and we are human beings. We pick up someone and be like, okay, this person have to be perfect and they have to say everything right in our mindset. I mean, in order for us not to think nothing. That's not a reality.
That's true.
Marcus Messiah Garvey said once, he said, Black people will make up excuse for anything, not to do the work, not for us to
Mhm.
come together. And if we can't find something, we're gonna make something up. He said it over, like 100 years ago. He said that. It's still a reality now because we still haven't given over that mindset. And this white man know this, and he play on that. We have to stop being reactors and being proactors. So when something go out, in the universe, we can't so quick just to run in it. You ever see a dog running behind a car? We running at everything that we see, and we not sitting back to say, hold on, you know what though? Let me just look at it for a second, Let me just hold my view and just get some information, before I say something wild. Because once we say something, I mean, we can't take it back.
That's
And
true.
there's people listening. There's young minds listening, and we don't understand that white supremacy play on that every chance to get, every chance to get. So we have to keep that in mind.
All right. We had spiritual streets. I think you were trying to join, and now it says your device is disconnected. So if you want to come back up here, can you just come back up here? I don't know what's going on with that. But definitely, you make some very valid points.
Peace to you, spiritual streets.
You make some very valid points, Black Revolutionary. Um, I do think, he was very well manicured for a man, for a male, very well spoken, articulate, well dressed. But also, I feel that I don't just feel, I know based on what I observed is that he catered to a certain audience because he capitalized off of melanated pain. The same way we saw Derek Jackson capitalizing off of women and melanated pain. We see a lot of these melanated men capitalizing off of melanated pain because it's a basically way for them to make money. Okay. So to say that women, I've heard a lot of different talks out here about the women. They feel very like he was very disparaging because he would talk about their weight. He would talk about the fact that they had multiple baby daddies, multiple children. Now, I'm not saying that's the ideal woman that most men want, but it's the way that the message was delivered, is what I would say. And then on top of it, he's catering to an audience, like I said, capitalizing off these women's melanated pain. But there's a way in which you can deliver the message without being so blunt. And I think that is another thing that, should be taken into account. Okay, spiritual streets. Oh, wait a minute. Now we got Stone Cold. What's good?
So what's going on?
What's good?
Am I on?
You're on. We can all hear you.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, peace and black power to you, my brother.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of like piggyback what he was saying. He's actually absolutely right on this one. When people have a thing of judging characters, whether they either have glass half full or half empty. Me, I kind of look at both spectrums. Believe it or not, I didn't pay attention to Kevin Samuels like that, and I'm never going to wish death upon anybody.
True.
Understand?
I wholeheartedly agree. Now, I think people are taking it too far, like when they are basically celebrating someone's death, because what we have to understand is that that's inevitable. We're all going to transition off this planet one day or another. What's
Right.
good, Spiritual Streets? You finally got up here.
Spiritual streets in the building. Peace and black power to you, my brother.
The one thing I noticed about Kevin Samuels is like, I didn't like the way he, how you go, it's not what you say, but how you say it. I didn't like the way he delivered it, but some cases need to be said. And the one thing I did notice, he wasn't like aiming at all indigenous women. He was aiming at a particular set of men, and just like particular set of men. And believe it or not, he kind of reminded a lot of these people what's their worth is. That I kind of think of it on the negative and the positive side. Like if somebody telling you, hey, you a dumbass, like, no, I'm not dumb. You know this in your mind. So what you gonna do? You're gonna prove that you're not one. And that's what I think, that's one of the methods of what Kevin Samuels did.
That's an interesting perspective, Stone Cold. Definitely. Spiritual Streets, are you with us? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, he speaks, you all. He speaks. How are you, King?
Great.
Did you want to add on to the conversation?
Yes. I was
Your sound kind of distorted, brother. We can't hear you properly.
all right. Let me fix that. Hold on.
You sound like you're out of space or something. You sound like you're
Definitely out of space.
You sound like you're reaching us. I mean, like you're on Mars or something, my brother.
Yeah, I'm definitely from another planet.
Yeah. Why don't you go out and then come back in and see what's up? Yeah, because we can't hear you at all. You sound very distorted.
Yeah, Spiritual Streets. We can't hear you.
Yeah. We can't hear you at all. Yeah, just reset, my brother. Yeah, just go out and just come back in.
Come back in.
Yeah. Come back in now, boy.
You hear me now?
Yeah, that's Cleo, man. Cleo was Jamaican. Call me now. Call me now.
Look, another scammer.
Yeah. She was definitely like a scammer. Yeah, that's funny. Call me now. Oh gosh. You know,
You know,
you
you
know,
know who, you know who I like. I was watching DJ Cassidy. My mama put me on to this. DJ Cassidy, he had a whole episode with all of the like reggae artists. It was
mm,
Sean Paul, one of my favorites,
yes, I know.
Raekwon, and who else? Oh, it was
Just give me the light.
Patra. Patra was on there, and the lady Bam Bambia, her, she was on there. All of the all of the greats were on. You gotta watch this episode. If I find it, I'm gonna send it to you. I might even post it in the description below, y'all. But
Mm,
I was rocking out to that thing. And one thing I noticed about like Caribbean music, it's more upbeat. It's not like this downtrodden stuff that we be listening over in the United States.
yeah, I gotta send you some soca mix from my country, you know. Some real soca thing, some Sparrow and some Baron and some Kitchener, real soca, real jump up. And Marshall, I can't forget Marshall. Marshall
I hear you
Montano,
now.
he is like he's the biggest calypsonian in the world. He's like the the Jay-Z of calypso, the Jay-Z
Oh,
and the
really?
Biggie and Nas. Yeah, there's no
Okay.
one like him. Yeah,
Buju Banton.
yeah. Buju, Buju.
Watchmen now. Vibes Cartel.
Yeah, Vibes Cartel. Yeah, but just to um, just to get back on that, whatever, what the brother was saying, uh, Stone Cold was saying, yeah, we don't like to hear certain things about ourselves, and that kind of make us,
Mhm.
insecure. And from my take, I just saw a brother who live in a certain light, and he was trying to elevate people. And sometimes to do that are people who is damaged mentally, psychologically,
Mhm.
on every level.
Mhm.
We can't sugarcoat shit. We can't say, hey man, everything is okay. Everything is not okay, because we 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 want someone to come and say, yeah, you know what, though, everything is good and don't worry and all kind of stuff. Sometimes you have to wail up people. Sometimes you have to get under people's skin, right? Our people, I mean, in order for us, to waken up. We
Mhm.
say we want change. We
Mhm.
say we want to hear the truth, but when we hear the truth from someone, we don't like how it deliver. Oh, the person is too divisive. Oh, he's too mean. He's too this. No one who gonna deliver certain things to make us better. We want like anything. We want like 60 to 70% of what they're saying. But what they're saying is right on point. We just
Mhm.
don't want to hear it, because most of the time that applies to our ass, that we need to change something about us.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's the reason why we don't want to hear it. Because they're like, oh my God, I feel it right here. God damn. Hey man, you an idiot. Yo, you're a fool for saying that. But right? But you're looking at yourself, that you said, hey, maybe, like, the person is right, the brother is right, the sister is right. Maybe, like, I need to change in the way how I am. But we always want to pass the buck on. I mean, like we don't have things we need to work on. And
Okay.
so
So
exactly.
let me ask you. So do you think? I'm gonna say two things. You want the truth. You can't handle the truth. But then again, do you think most melanated people are too hypersensitive?
Good question. I think it depends. Situation dictates. Like if it sets a trauma trigger, then yeah, most likely. Um, the one thing I wanted to add on to was when you have an argument with anybody, it could be your mother, your father, whatever. Whoever you having an argument with, you literally arguing with yourself. I'll say that again. If you having an argument with anybody, you're arguing with yourself. The only difference is you're arguing with yourself in a different form, in a different vantage point. So 9 times out of 10, your ego is disagreeing against something. Neither one of y'all can be wrong or right. And that's how this earth has made us programmed. It's not about what's right. It's not about what's wrong. It's about what's necessary. As
Factual.
crazy as this sound, some people didn't, uh, agree too much with Kevin Samuels. In fact, they hate, despise the guy. But maybe he was necessary in a way.
One thing I will say, well, first of all, Spills the Streets, are you here? Are you with us?
Check 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you.
Is that
A
better?
little bit
Yeah,
better, but you sound like you in the basement.
Oh no, I definitely ain't Joe.
okay.
Yeah, it sound a little bit better. So whatever you did, whatever, maybe it just need tweaking us a little bit, but you sound a little bit better.
Sound
You sound
better.
like you're coming to
All right,
Earth
hold
now.
on.
You sound
All
like you're
right, what
coming to
about
Earth.
that?
Speak
Is
up.
that better?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of echo, but yeah, but we could deal with it.
Yeah, I wanted to say too, one thing I will say that Kevin Samuels has us doing is talking about him.
Exactly. And it's content. So
Yeah.
and it's sooner or later, believe it or not, they celebrating his death and whatnot. But who knows? He probably created 10 more of them.
I'm sure he has. These
So,
people are going heavy and hard for Kevin.
and they all have their point of views as well. It, the way I see it is, just take what you feel is. If you like the type of person that follow other people, just take for what it's worth, whatever's good out of it, and what else, just discard it and
Yes.
move on. Because either way, you still want to mold it to your way anyway. So my success is different from his, and his point of passing messages is different from mine. I'm cool with
Understood. All right.
Fa-
Spill the
Facts, but
Streets. What you got to add on to this conversation? Let's get you in here.
I don't know what with the Kevin Samuels situation. It's just one of those things. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, yes. It's just one of those situations where we already had divisiveness with our people, and it didn't do anything to help. But at the same time, we can't downgrade him for him having his perception and his opinion on his channel. Um, so I just I wish the best for him, his family, whatever the situation is. I'm just not going to spend too much energy really playing into it because we
Right.
still got to move forward and heal as men and women.
it. Right.
True.
Because that's the biggest problem. I think what all this is showing
Hmm.
is actually showing that as men, black women, women, Latino men, we have to come together and get our minds right and start understanding what family is about and focus on that more instead of divisiveness. Because we got too many women out there with channels like Cynthia G preaching against black men.
Hmm.
Then you had other channels with people preaching against the black women, and it's doing nothing but divide us.
Right.
And I think we got to come to a head at some point because at the end of the day, we're looking like fools to the whole world, and that's what's playing out right now.
Facts.
Bombs
So,
just dropped. I wish I had a little thing right here. I would have dropped some bombs for you.
I
Spill
have
the
a bomb.
Streets.
Hold on.
You got one? Man, come on. You can't just
That came from the air. That definitely didn't come from the basement. That came from the sky.
I got you.
That came,
Yeah.
Oh God.
I got you. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
but
but
I'm sorry.
honestly, like platforms like this, it needs to be more. It needs to be done more. The one thing we definitely judgmental. We gotta chill off of that, but we can still take
Yes.
accountability. We need to start policing our own. That's the one thing we don't do anymore. Policing our own within our neighborhoods. Black Panthers, they did it well before they got infiltrated. We got to get back into that.
Hmm. And it's very, it's very interesting because Dr. John Henry Clark said this. He said, you have to have a love affair with your people, in order for you to put up with everything. And you brothers and sisters on the panel, there are things we're going to disagree on, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, I love my brothers and sisters, and we wouldn't agree on everything. That's just a reality of things. But it doesn't mean your heart is in the right place. And sometimes we just have to, we are so just caught up in like someone have to say everything right in order for us not to criticize them. And
Right.
when people come and say some things to truth, whatever, like Kevin said, fine. You don't want to listen to him? Don't right? Don't tune into his channel, whatever. It's weird how people don't like him, but they listen to him, and they get upset, because of the things he say or whatever. Eat the fish and spit the bones out, right? Because take what you could take to apply with your life and move on. We spend too much time criticizing instead of just taking what we could and making ourselves get better, like mentally, psychologically, spiritually.
Boom.
Right? We're too busy criticizing somebody this and somebody this, whatever. We all gonna have different of opinion on, and everything, and we won't agree to everything 100%. But what I agree is white supremacy attacking us. Yes, we black. Yes, yes, we are the million people of the world. There are a lot of things we have in common that we don't. That the things that we fight on, that, and I mean, is not necessarily as large as the thing that we have in common. Why don't we grab the things we have in common, and just ride with it? Ride with the things we have in common.
Yeah.
Facts.
Ride with the enemy who is attacking us.
Facts.
All right.
One,
So, go ahead, my brother.
yeah, one of the things that keep me like kind of level headed through all of this whole matrix thing is like I always practice the law of four agreements, the four law of agreements, and two of them is first, never take things personal.
Mm-hmm.
You just can never take things personal, and also never assume everybody's for you, but also never assume they're against you.
Yes.
And I think
Real
those are
talk.
things that kind of keeps me just level headed, even kill. I'm moving forward. Even it keeps you from getting a little too emotional. And
Yes.
we tend to criticize ourselves and others too much. You got to remember, you can't take it personal. It's just you don't know why a
Yeah.
person is sent in your direction, why information come to you. You just got to take it in, and
Real
hopefully you can
talk.
build with like-minded people and grow from it.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
What's good? We got 8 with the 24 in the building. What's good, King? How you
But
doing? Go ahead. I'm
but the
sorry.
law for agreements is definitely a good thing to look into, and always do your best, man. And that's all you can do in this matrix right now.
Yeah. And
Agreed. Well, I want to ask you guys something. Okay. Now, from Kevin Samuel's perspective, you heard his rhetoric. Could you name something that you found useful from what he was talking about? Like, could you name a point that you thought was valid that you could expound upon?
I would say one, I'm investing in yourself. That's the one thing I noticed. And men got worth as well as women. That was the only two things that I can probably pick up on.
All right. Let's go around the
Facts.
table.
I'm being real.
What about you, Spiritual Street?
I mean, quite honest, I didn't. I really didn't listen to him too much.
Right, me either.
Didn't listen to him too much because so 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 it was one of those things where, I mean, his opinion, I knew it was decisive because it was dealing on, really criticizing a black woman. And, in my spiritual growth, I know that's not a good thing spiritually, especially right now with the energies that's coming in. So I
Yeah.
couldn't play into his energy and be a real follower of his channel for that reason.
Right. And
Exactly.
it's interesting to me because he has a daughter. You know what I mean? So I think when men have daughters, they got to be very careful about how they handle the divine feminine. So I want to ask you, Black Revolutionary, could you name something that you found was profound from Kevin Samuel's teachings that stuck with you?
Step your game up. Be a man and be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like let's say, like if I'm on this platform and I'm saying, I mean, we have some thoughts, we have some woman out there who's useless. I ain't talking to you, Seven Wonder. I ain't talking to you, so you shouldn't be upset. But the ones who the rock hit in the yard, who is screaming the loudest, that's the one I'm talking about. And you see, not every black woman is a queen. Not
Facts.
every black woman is a hoe. So when you're speaking on people who need to up the game up here, I ain't talking about you, right? We ain't talking about people who are actually doing the work. So we have to understand that, right? So they're too sensitive. So what I take away from his perspective, just be better. We always say we want to see our people do better and say the
Mm-hmm.
right things, and after, but oh yeah, well, he's saying the right things, but he's saying it's too harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we need someone, to slap you to wake you up. I mean, you need somebody to rock you to sleep with the nonsense.
Let me ask
Sometimes we
y'all,
just need a good slap to wake up.
let me ask y'all this. Now, I heard someone bring up Cynthia G. Now we know that she's very prevalent on YouTube,
Yeah.
criticizing the melanated guys out here. Now, what if this were the other way around? What if this were reversed? Now, I'm not wishing anything on her, but what if we had a melanated female that were doing the same antics and she were no longer here? Would this conversation still be the same?
I never really paid attention to Cynthia G. About actually, this is my first time even hearing about her.
Okay.
Kevin Samuels only listened to like 2, 3 lives, and that was like a 15-minute increment. But if the roles were reversed, I'd probably feel the same way. Um,
Got it.
because I mean, you can go on TikTok and you see a lot more TikTok influencers bashing men, especially the black men, for us not stepping our game up. And I get it. Yeah, we screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
But just hope and understand that we were, raised by single mothers. They can only do so much. They can't really raise a boy to be a man entirely. So
Right.
we still trying to master that. And once we do, I guarantee you, we got your back 100%.
So, would you say that if there is a difference between how a guy is raised if he has his father, and then there's a difference if he does not have his father? You think that's a
Definitely,
major, okay, a major difference?
definitely. Women, and this is probably the part where y'all might not agree with me entirely. When the woman has the child for the first couple of years, first 4 years of a child, I think the father has to be there so the baby can recognize the father's face. I'm not saying the father walk away after that. I'm not saying it. If the father can stay there, let him stay there. What I'm saying is during those beginning stages of the child, they need that nurturing, they need that loving, they need that that it factor from the mother. But as the child gets older, it slowly transitions to the father because the father teaches about survival. We're out in these streets more than the women. So we have better survival tactics and better ways of dealing with things. Sometimes the anger get the best of us because of what we eat, but that's a whole different story. We'll talk about that part later. But yeah, we have to well, I'll put it this way. I think the fathers need to definitely be there for the sons, but if the father is there for the daughters, he's supposed to set a prime example on how a man's supposed to treat her by treating his mother or the queen of his household the right way.
Okay.
Yeah, Cynthia G. I think she's definitely controversy. She's not good for the black family. The divisiveness, preaching the swirling type of things. But but I don't think she's here for the betterment of the family. It's a more of a thing too, where you're turning the women against the men, and it's still causing divisiveness. So I think agendas right now like that are ops. You know, they're paid ops, and they're put out there for a reason. You know, but she has a right to her opinion. That's her channel. But she's somebody I don't follow. You know, because she definitely deals with a lot of negative on the black man. I mean, she goes hard on brothers, and when you look at the setup, if you understand the history and if you understand the system and how it was put in place and what it's about, then to me, as a black woman, and that's what you truly represent, you wouldn't even put out uh, no type of energy like that toward the family, toward the man, toward the community. And same way with Kevin Samuel. I mean, that's you just wouldn't do it. You try to go about it another way. So with her, I think if it was her that passed, it would be even more smoke because women would be upset that that's about that agenda. So I think it would be even more smoke and a lot more going on had the tables been turned than what it is now. It would have been
Mm,
even more controversial if people
right.
were bashing her right now because she's a woman.
Mm. Yeah, 8 with the 24 said divide and conquer. Exactly. And this is what's been going on with us from day one. And another good point that he made, he said, some are mad at melanated women when it's a white man's world, mad at the wrong people, mad at the ones we came from. And I don't get along with my mom at all, but all of one gender isn't the same. Very true.
Yeah, I agree.
That's very true. And like the divide and conquer. That's why I said the thing about it is even with Kevin Samuels, it's like listening to it. I didn't watch him like that. I've come across a few of his live streams and I've tuned into it, but I think the message that he delivered did make sense in some cases, but not all females are in that category. But I also think that Kevin Samuels came from a place of hurt and pain. I really do.
Bam.
Because
There you go.
he was going heavy and hard on these women. And I mean, I know it's common sense that women know that they should work out if they want a nice looking man to attract a good man. I mean, you basically, if you set your standards here, you need to be able to try to match it or surpass it. So I think that's common sense. But, to say that women, they're five at best and they're average and this and that, sometimes he would break down their self esteem live and on camera. And it was
That's
done
what I
in a
didn't
very
like.
vicious way.
That was that shit I didn't like.
It was harsh. It was harsh. And Cynthia G, I mean, she's very blunt and to the point. I think she makes some very valid points too. Both of them made sense in what they were saying because we could see examples of this all day going on in society and especially in the melanated community. But then again, I take it back to what 8 with the 24 said. This was orchestrated from somewhere. And where was it orchestrated from? The white man, divide and conquer. If you can read Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper, they talk about you have blacks against whites and the young against old. Now you have men against women. And if you're doing this with melanated people, they're never going to unify. They're never going to come together and procreate. So it's a war within the race.
Facts.
But see how the universe work, right? Now before Kevin Samuels, that was a Derek Jackson that was bashing us, bashing black men. And what
Facts.
I have no idea. And what happens when darkness came to light? They found out he was one of the main ones cheating.
Who is this?
Derek Jackson.
Oh, exactly. 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 Derek Jackson was another one.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think that Kevin Samuels, it was something very suspicious with this whole thing. It sounds like a ritual to me. When I first heard it, I was not buying the narrative either. Um, Derek Jackson is another one that perpetuated the whole narrative. Like, if you listen to his rhetoric, he'll tell a woman if a man basically has to be damn near perfect, because if he's not perfect, you need to just get rid of him. Like, no one's going to be perfect. Everybody's going to have some type of flaw and make a mistake. And like Stone Cold Pete just said, You turn around and find out he was cheating on his wife the whole time. So, like I said, these men are capitalizing off of melanated women's pain, writing books, going on tours, having seminars, getting PayPal, Cash App donations, all types of consultations. So you're being a hypocrite, and that's what I cannot stand beside. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these YouTube influencers are finessers and finaglers. A lot of them have a criminal history and a criminal background, and a lot of them are just basically like scammers. And then that's what it is. So all of it is just orchestrated to get into the pockets of melanated women.
It's definitely an orchestrated ops out there with that agenda to come and vote, to come and demand in a woman, in our community. That's no question. If you can't see that, even to the point where they're using, different black conscious groups, all of that. A lot of that stuff is like orchestrated ops to
Yes.
destroy us, man. That's part of the Cointel Pro. To go back to that, to what you were saying, all of that's part of that agenda, the Cointel Pro, and it appears to be working, but it's really not, because you're looking at the illusions, because they're going to present what they want to present to you on TV. You're seeing certain things in social media, but at the same time, who's real and who's not real? That's kind of what we have to navigate as a people and understand. At the end of the day, it goes back to our spiritual growth that they constantly trying to keep us disconnected from. However you get there, there's no, to me, one set way to get there, because everybody come in their own time how they come. So there's no one blueprint for that. The universe will call you when it's that time. But their whole game, and the game that's being supported by our people and other people, is to keep us off that agenda for spiritual development, which therefore affects your community. Because you can't have you can't solve spiritual problems with political solutions. So everything going on right now that we see happening is spiritual problems in our community, spiritual problems in this world, and no political solutions is going to solve that. No rhetoric on YouTube is going to solve that. People got to connect to that spiritual development, understand what's taking place right now, and get on the right side. Our sync with the Titanic.
He said, like what happened to that lawyer you used to date, you should be with him. Is foul. Some men do that too. So yeah, I mean, we know this is the case. People will always hate on your happiness. So like, say you have a good relationship, a good foundation with your significant other, there's always going to be somebody trying to interject themselves into your situation and have you turn your back on your relationship because they don't have it. So you'll throw away a good thing thinking you're going to have something better and never get anything better because you listen to a whole bunch of idiots. I mean, that happens all the time.
Oh,
Yeah. But
those
like I've heard a lot of people talk about we're in the time of like the divine feminine, but I also think we have to recognize the divine masculine, because women can go out here and all day, every day talking about, oh, I'm a strong black woman. I'm so tired of hearing that narrative perpetuated, the strong black female. Why is it that the black female always has to be strong? She is strong by necessity. It's not that we want to be strong. We were thrown into this, okay? And so at some point, she wants to be the damsel in distress and get rescued like the princess that she is. But because she has to deal with all of these things that society has placed upon her, that's what made her the strong black woman. She had to be that. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
you can thank Ronald Reagan for that one.
What do you mean, Ronald Reagan?
Reaganomics.
When they started the war on drugs and then started bringing the drugs in our neighborhood, right?
Uh-huh.
They wanted the men to sell it, and the women at the time were stay-at-home moms. They was nurturing their children like they were supposed to do, and the men was bringing the money in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once they got enough money of what they needed, they started, okay, now it's time to lock them up. Now, mind you, this happened like right after the Black Panther Party kind of like was at its demise. This was pretty much expiring.
Mm-hmm.
They locked up all the black fathers. So now the mothers, stay-at-home moms, their new boyfriends had to be Section 8
Mm-hmm.
and food stamps. And then they started realizing, hey, we don't need a man no more. So when the man came in, it was pretty much too late.
Mhm.
They I'm not saying that all black women, because to be honest, it's more whites that actually get EBT cards than black women.
Info.
But I'm keeping it a bean. It's some women
Informative.
don't want men no more. And the thing is not, and it's not like we've been misguided.
Yes.
We have no,
Led.
like, yeah, we have nobody to, because we at that time we used to have people to look up to.
Facts.
Everybody we finding out that some of the celebrities we even looked up to is gone. I mean, come on now. I think the only person we somewhat got left, I don't even know if it's true or not, with his allegations is Bill Cosby. They took the Cosby Show away from us. They took different worlds. They took certain stuff, like anything that would empower us. They took it away, and
Family matters.
they put everything that kills us in our neighborhoods. I guarantee if you go in the suburbs, you will not see as many fast food as we got in our neighborhood. They don't
That's
have so
true.
many churches, so many
Yes.
liquor stores, like meat up the galore. And it ain't that many cows on this damn planet just to serve one restaurant for an entire year. So where's this meat coming from? And energy don't die, it transfers. So when you eat that, depending on how that animal felt at that time, if it was in fear, guess what? You're gonna be feeling that too.
Yeah.
We lost a lot,
Facts.
and the only thing we got now is us. And if we don't stick together, and this is the reason why I kind of got mad at Martin Luther King when he tried to put us together at that moment. We wasn't ready. We was not ready.
Mm-hmm.
We still ain't ready. We need to get a divorce from every other nationality, come together, and it's like, hey, this is what we need to start doing for ourselves. Have a
Facts.
Black Wall Street 2.0 and start thriving. And once we get our shit together, then we can go back out there. Because I'm pretty sure we got enough to do our own thing. Easy. We can have our own sports league. We can have our own whatever. The only thing that I'm scared of is somebody being infiltrated or a betrayal. 'Cause the only reason why we lost everything is because our own people gave in.
Facts.
So if we actually have some people that we can actually look up to that's not going to sell out, I think we can strive. I think we can do a hell of a lot better. And Malcolm X was on that verge. He was saying, "Hey, I gotta." Crazy as it sounds, I might have to pull some people. Might be outside our nationalities to get the job done. But if I have to do that, I'll do that. And what they do, murk them. Um,
Facts.
I mean, we do got a lot of all melanated people, all skin folk and kin folk. Tell you that now.
Nah, that's. I mean, you hit it on the nose. That's why we're in this predicament. What you think on that, BRN?
Um, my perspective on this is pretty much this. We seen the need for leaders or looking up for a leader. And we have to learn from the past because if we don't, we'll continue down the same road. We have to have a code that everybody live by and do because you can't infiltrate a code. But once we look up to one person over here, one person over there, and they get infiltrated and killed, we sit back with our arms crossed. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Fred Hampton said this in the 60s. He said you could kill a revolution, but you can't kill a revolutionary, right? And we have to be on code on what we need to do. And I think when you look at certain people who come before us, they was trying to say, man, don't look up to no one. Look up to yourself. Look up to your family. I mean, it start with your family. And that's what we have to do because you can't kill a code. When a people is on code, you don't know where it's coming, because you um Marcus Garvey said, he said, hey, listen, you could kill me, okay, but I left my pops in the but I left my cubs I mean in the bushes, so they're gonna come after me because they on code, and so forth and so forth. So we have to have a code we live by. We know what to do. We just too busy pointing fingers, criticizing, and we ain't doing the work. We got to do the work. Shut up and just do what you're supposed to do, whatever. And all of us going to be on code, because you can't kill that, right? The Asians have a code. They don't have a leader. They're saying they are one person. The Arabs have a code. They have a code. They just do the friggin' work. They don't look for one person and say, okay, we're going to follow him or we're going to follow her. They just on code. They just know what it's supposed to do, because you can't kill that.
All right. So 8 with the 24 said segregation again. Nah, bro, we need to escape the matrix right now, everybody. So who was talking about segregation? I didn't hear that part.
I was mainly saying the segregation. At that time, I said we should have segregated because I don't
Okay.
know. We was thriving. Honestly, during the segregation period, that's when most of the inventions was actually coming in.
Okay. Okay. 8
But
said
he's right though. We do need to escape. I agree with him totally.
definitely, 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 definitely. Like, I mean, at this point, we don't really know what's real and what's fake anymore. And you know what? Speaking about that, that is in the Bible. Not that I believe everything in the Bible, but that is in the Bible. You know, they said there'll be a time when man will not understand or be able to decipher between season from season. We don't recognize what's real from fake. And if I had the Bible, I would actually go to that verse and read it because we are living in that time right now.
Yeah, it's I ain't gonna say it's scary, but it's kind of like uh, nerve wracking in a way because you want it to end, but at the same time, it's like you want to see it through.
What do you want to see through?
I want to see the collapse. Like I
Okay.
know I said this since 2020. I said this government is going to collapse, the school system is going to collapse, and this currency is going to collapse. We're the only country possibly that's still uh, using money where everybody else is using the bartering system. And if this country is using the bartering system, it's not us, it's the politicians that's using it from country to country. So sooner or later, we're gonna even out the playing field, and it'd probably be possibly survival of the fittest.
Mm-hmm.
So on I just want to just correct what I say. What I was talking about early on with the revolution is, I meant to say you could kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution. So the revolution starts in the mind first. It starts in the mind. And one of the things we know and we could learn and take as a case study, integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us, because once we were segregated, we learned to do everything by ourselves. No mommy and daddy, nobody to come and save you, whatever. We had to do it by ourselves, and we didn't have no choice. And I think, it's sad to say this, and I always talk about this. I say sometimes I wish that every group of people, race of people, just wake up one day and say, man, you know what though? We don't want black people to come to our stores, work for us, and do nothing no more. That gonna bring two Negroes to the forefront. One Negro gonna cry and say, "Oh my God, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm so used to shopping at the Arab store and the Chinese store and the white man store." And we're gonna have brothers and sisters who gonna say, "We're gonna take the skills that we have, forget about the differences on the minute things we have, and we're gonna have to come together." Because when you're looking at your baby in the face and and your baby looking up to you, and you gotta provide as a man and a woman. What the hell you gonna do as a man and a woman? You ain't have no choice. All the talents and skills we have, we could do this shit. We've been doing this shit. We get so dependable on this white man, and everybody else feel like
Hmm.
we can't do nothing. And them is the one who exploit us and do everything. The black dollar is a $1.3 trillion a year. We are the poorest people who spend more than every other group of people. That's crazy. You know what I mean? And you trying to tell me we can't do it, and when you go to a club and you go to a strip club and you go to a party, you go this whatever case, you black people driving the fanciest car, the most expensive car, the most expensive shoes. They got a hair done, they got jewelry, they got everything done, and you're trying to tell me we can't get our shit together? That's crazy. Black Wall Street didn't have no Michael Jordan, no LeBron, no actors, no singers, no entertainers, whatever. They had regular working people doing their shit. They ain't complain. They're doing their shit and they make it work. You trying to tell me with all access to all the shit we have and all these millionaires and a few billionaires we have, I mean, and we can't get out of this? We could do that without even them. We could get out of that shit without them, right? Because Black Wall Street did it. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't have no celebrity to come help them. So, it's not the money. It's a mindset.
Hmm.
Think about that for a second. They didn't have nothing to compare what we have access to, but they had their own shit together. The moment we integrate with these crackers, we lost everything. We lost the ability to do shit for ourselves. We lost that drive. We lost everything. So we pending and we sucking in the TD of this white man for every goddamn thing, and we complaining that we ain't got shit, right? The black dollar circulate in the black community 8 friggin' hours, 6 to 8 hours. That's crazy. It doesn't even go in a black man or another black man pocket. It goes straight to the Arab. It goes straight to the Chinese. It goes straight to the white man. It goes straight to the Jew. But hey, man, we got the most expensive cars, and look at the Jordans I'm wearing, and look at the Gucci belt and the Gucci bag, and my hair done and my nails done, and everything friggin' good. But we ain't got shit to talk about. But we spend more. The poorest people spend more than everybody else combined.
That's true.
That's crazy. So
Because
it's not about the money, it's the mindset.
yeah,
Revolutionary start here first. So we don't need no one to help us. Dr. John Henry Clark said this: we gotta help ourselves, and there's no one who is attacking us gonna help our race of people. We gotta do it.
yep,
So we
yep.
just had to shut up and just do the work, whatever, and stop criticizing the minute thing. Oh, this person say this person hurt my feelings. Yo, this person do this, whatever cases. Yo, we are looking for an excuse out to do shit.
Go ahead. Preach,
Yeah.
BRN.
Yeah.
So look, since he talked about it, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and read it to you all. Let me see here. He said we are in the book of Revelations. I do not, and I talk about this Bible thing, y'all. But it says, beware of false prophets and false teachers. Where have we seen this in the YouTube sector, you all? False prophets and false teachers. Okay. Towards the end of the Savior's earthly ministry, his disciples came to him with several questions concerning the future. Tell us, what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Can y'all see my screen? I don't know if y'all can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jesus responded, okay, take heed that no man deceive you. How many times have we been deceived, you all? Cointel Pro, Operation Chaos, FBI, CIA, all these actors and entertainers, all these people with YouTube channels. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and shall be of famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. The apostle Paul warned of these days, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, you all, sound doctrine, not this nonsense they be spewing at us, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. They're scratching their ears, y'all. They want to hear the knowledge, y'all. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth. So, y'all know how we talk about the truth over here, but people don't want to hear it. Paul also taught that the Lord gave some apostles and some prophets for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the bodies of Christ, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie and wait to deceive, y'all. They deceived our people. They got after the melanated mind for deceiving the melanated children. They teaching us lies in the history books. They teaching us lies in the textbooks. They teaching us lies in the church. They teaching us lies on the news. Brothers and sisters, the exact time of the second coming is known only to the Father. There are, however, signs that scriptural prophecy relating that tumultuous day is being fulfilled. Jesus cautioned several times that prior to his second coming, many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. As apostles of the Lord Jesus Christ, it is our duty to be the watchmen. What are we doing right now? We're watching. We are the watchmen on the tower, warning church members to beware of the false prophets and false teachers who lie and wait to ensnare and destroy faith and testimony. Today, we warn you that there are false prophets and false teachers arising, and if we are not careful, even those who are among the faithful members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will fall victim to their deception. We see this going on the internet, on Facebook, on YouTube, all over the place. President Joseph F. Smith gave wise and clear counsel that applies to us today. We cannot accept nothing as authoritative, but that which comes directly through the appointed channel, the constituted organizations of the priesthood, which is the channel that God has appointed through which to make known his mind and will to the world. All right, I'm not going to read any more of that. I think we already get the gist of what's going on here. And so I want to say a special shout out to the panel that joins us today. A special shout out to the chat, okay, because you are doing your due diligence. You're walking in your divinity, like we always talk about. You're powerful kings. That's why you're on this panel, okay? So I want to give us. Oh, look, at 8 with the 24, you done hooked us up with all these channels that we can watch. Thank you so much. Please send them to my Instagram. So, yes, I just wanted to read that to you all.
Peace Queen. I wanted for you to look something up, and it's something I came across a couple of days ago. It's very powerful.
Sure.
And it's a book by this brother who spent 25 years breaking down the dictionary, and it's called Wicked Words,
Wicked
Poison
Word.
Wicked Words, Poison Minds, Racism in the Dictionary.
Okay.
Yeah, by Philpo Car, whatever.
Oh yeah, yes, I see it. It popped up. Let me share my screen. Hold on one second.
It's.
I'm listening.
When I saw it, I'm definitely gonna get it. So he spent 25 years going through the dictionary because we heard back in the days, black is dark, black is evil, black cat, black this, whatever, and they always have a negative connotation to what black is. And when they come into white is pure, white is this, whatever, and he break down. So just imagine this brother spend 25 years going through the dictionary and breaking down the words. I think it was over. I think if you read it, it's going to tell you, 160,000 definition of words that is racist. When you go back to the top, go back to the top for a second, and you see it on your right hand side right here.
Right here.
Yeah, just blew that up. Whatever. Do you like this book? Under, if you like this book. So racist words is found among more than 160,000 definition entries, over
1
1
million
million
total
total
words.
words. Yeah, in a Webster dictionary, whatever. And yeah, man, it's crazy. I definitely want to get this book. But it speaks to the mindset that we have, because we keep hearing these kind of words and we take it as law. That's
Mhm.
why in the last time I told you about, we can't go on what the white men say. We have to have our own definition. They don't define us. We are the first people on the planet. Yo, let me start acting like it. We can't define some crackers who just came out of the cave, you know, 8 to 10,000 years ago. They are defining our reality. And once they speak it, we give it light, we give it power. So
Boom.
we have to learn that, and that's something, I mean, our people is not in our mindset and space, because I understand we live in among the criminals who murder us and do everything under the sun. So it's hard for us to get on, I mean, and escape that, or so-called, I mean, escape the matrix, because we're living in it. But that's where the revolutionary mind come in, where you have to see, and see with your third eye instead of seeing with these eyes, because they're gonna come with a lot of illusions and all kind of shit, and
Mhm.
you just looking at it with your regular eyes and you're not seeing through the bullshit. We can't, whatever they say, yo, like I told you from before, when white people come around me, yo, like, I mean, like they don't even exist, yo. Like, I mean, they're not even there until, unless if they say something fresh to me so I could get on their ass. But yo, but besides that, yo, they don't exist to me, yo.
Mhm.
They're like, all right, they're like 2 feet tall to me. And that's the mindset we have to have, because once you have a people and you look for them for laws and information, all kind of stuff, you're gonna start living through that vicariously. You're gonna take everything they say is true. They call you nigger, okay, I guess I'm a nigger. They call you poor, they call you this, they call you that. So all the things they're saying about us and our people, we're gonna take it like if it's true. And I understand. I mean, our people, we are so used to that, we can even tell the difference.
And to add on to that, thank you so much, 8 with the 24. He just sent me some stuff to my Instagram. I want to share my screen and show this to y'all. It's called Watch Demons Work Live in Church. Y'all, these people are off
Woo.
the chain. Let me see if I can show y'all.
Yeah, they pimping their congregation.
Yes, heavy and hard, y'all.
Yeah, that church scene falling off. About time.
Yeah, here it is right here. So if y'all want to check this, this is another good video. You can check this out. It might play, but yeah, we got to do something about this church stuff and these pastors and preachers and all this nonsense.
It's happening. They already said that the enrollment, a lot of stuff been out lately the past week, saying a lot of enrollment is already down with the churches. A lot of them are closing its doors. So,
Yep.
people understand now. I think, all the stuff that happened, a lot of people came into that spiritual growth. They started opening their eyes. That third eye, just looking at things a lot different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's definitely the false prophets.
And I think that, we had been, what do you call it, indoctrinated, basically believe in the God that they gave us. Because I used to be like that. I used to believe in the God that they gave us until I really started opening my mind and understanding that the God that they create is not the God that we are referencing here. And ironically, it could be more than one God. I believe it's more than one creator. I just do.
Well,
Absolutely, absolutely.
it is. It's yeah. It's actually cool. That was the first mistake they did in the Bible. In actuality, if you think about it, if you want to say Satan was technically a god as well.
Hmm.
First son.
They with the 24 said he went to a church that was scamming, then they got caught and moved to Florida. Oh, that's some messed up stuff.
Hey,
You gotta
check this
think.
out. A lot of people don't know. The last 30 years, the black church have taken in from poor black people over $450 million from the black church. And what we have for that, what we have to show for that, whatever, we have
Not.
nothing to show for that. So we understand. And, I'm not saying like every black church is like that, but now we understand. And, riddle me this. If the black church was so good for us and it was helping us, you think the black church would have been taken down a long time ago?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Facts. Exactly.
true. That's
And
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
exactly. And then
Because every single thing we try to come together and do and build, we have Cointel Pro like
Mhm.
in our ass, whatever. And nobody don't talk about the George Bush um initiative, faith-based initiative, where
exactly.
they give the black church money to go on whatever, but also all the money go to the black church, it go into a white bank. So we giving money to a black church or a black pastor, and the same money going to a white bank, and they charging us uh interest rate to get a house or to buy a car, whatever the case is, from white people. That's crazy. But this is what integration have done to us.
Yeah.
This
When you,
is the effect. Marcus Messiah Garvey said, and I always like to quote my ancestors because they have a lot of stuff they say so long ago and it's so relevant today. He say, once we continue to drink from the poison of the European, we will die from the effects.
Mm-hmm.
facts. When you look at the black church, elaborate on that too. Think about all of the churches. Sometimes you might find 10, 12 on one block. In some cities, you might find 90 in a 2 mile span. But when you sit back and look around and look at those communities. So what is the black church really doing for community when you got them spread all throughout your community, but your community's trash?
Exactly.
Something wrong with that. You just got to open your eyes and understand like what's really going on here. If the churches are here, supposed to be doing so much, they're in every corner, but look at the communities. That lets you know the game right there.
Yeah.
All right, but check this out too. We've been dealing with this for 400 years for a long time, and we see in our parents have grew up and died in poverty, and we ain't figure it out yet. We're not dealing with logic and common sense because that's what it is. We just dealing with customs and values, right? And we all understand that we have an organization that take from us so much where we don't even realize that is doing more harm than good. Now, who taught us to say, well, hey man, you know what though? Let me give my last dollar to Jesus, and the preacher tell me, okay, you're gonna see your heaven when you die. White people seeing their heaven right now alive. The Arabs seeing their heaven right now. The
Yes.
Chinese people seeing their heaven right now.
Yes.
But we have to die in order to see our heaven. What
Yes.
kind of bullshit is that? And we still
Nonsense.
falling for that
False
illusion
prophets.
to conclusion. We still falling for that. Nothing wrong with if you believe that, but at some point we have to say, hold on a second. So you trying to tell me that I have to die to enjoy my heaven when I see everybody else they enjoying their heaven right now?
Yes. I
Who
need the
the
fire
hell?
and
Like
siren off heaven.
we don't see that.
Yeah.
What kind of God is that? Hey man, I'm sorry, man. What kind of hey man, yo, I want to enjoy my heaven right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right now, when I'm alive. right?
That's
We had to die poor in order to kind of say, what kind of sales pitch is that, man? What kind of salesman is that who sells us that bullshit?
Right.
Right? And we still going for it, man. That's the crazy shit.
Mhm.
We still falling for that. We still seeing people around us who is building shit up and who having the shit that we still saying, well, okay, well, hey, man, I guess there's no way out. We just gonna die and we're gonna get our heaven when we die. Who the hell keeps selling us this nonsense, man?
That's true.
exactly indoctrinated with that mess. You
It's
right.
crazy, man. And we gotta stop holding on. You see, the one thing I always tell people this, my grandma, I love my grandma. I know her heart was in the right place, whatever she mean good. She was a Christian, before I wasn't born. And she only tell us stuff that was told to her. But I know the difference now, and I could separate it, the love for my grandmother and my grandma, what she said. Because certain people say, oh, well, you calling my grandma like a liar because she believe in Jesus, whatever the case is. I understand. She grew up with us. She didn't know any better. I still love her the same way, but I could separate it, and I know the information she had been told, she was misinformed, just like most of us. At some point, we got to come with logic and common sense. We got to look at our situation, as a collective of people and say, yo, there's something wrong here, man. This shit ain't working, y'all. You know what I mean? We have been under this nonsense for this long, y'all. Let me try something else. You think we're going to try something else,
Right.
right? And we keep doing the same thing and expecting, the same results. And we realize whatever, but these preachers and these the pulpit pastors,
No,
this keeps selling us this nonsense.
yo,
And
you
we
know
just saying,
what?
okay,
And
Jesus is the way, he's the light, and there's nothing else. What case is why you suffering and you got nothing in your friggin' pocket and your family is suffering, right? And Jesus,
Hmm.
You,
what the
you,
hell is this?
you know what's so dope about that this conversation too, and this particular subject is it plays right into what the guy that's put on the title page, Cointel Pro. That this religious thing was also part of the Cointel Pro um, military operation, which was part of the Bible. So it's wild how that plays in with that too. Exactly what you're saying.
Like I say, if the black church was here to help us and rescue us, how come they're not taken down already by the government? That's
That's
the
true.
question that all these Christian people need to answer. Or people, oh yeah, the black church, my ass. If you have a church where it didn't bring in uh the economic in your community, and helping your people get better to build stuff, what's the sense they're there for? So they keep screaming this rhetoric. You have these pastors who is this, they're keeping our people in a perpetual state of just, illusion, and just think Jesus is the answer. Jesus, we looking at it, since on the plantation, Jesus is the answer. And how that should work out for us now today.
well, the one thing I can add
Crazy,
on
man.
to, like, this is why they wanted everybody to learn English, because they know that the English language is the lowest frequency of all languages.
Hmm.
Yes.
So we say the word Jesus, but if you say it in Spanish, it's Jesus. Now, if you take the hey out, you got Zeus. That's who the person is actually worshiping. Now,
Agreed.
remind you, this
God.
Bible has been
Yes.
revised over 30,000 times. Now, think about it. Before, we at one point we wasn't in no school system, and that's when all the inventions were starting to come effect, right? But the moment the school system they started to integrate and let us start going in the school system, it slowly died down. For one, two, the letter J wasn't even introduced into the English language to the 1600s. Around the same exact time, they said that the slave ships, because it was only two for what I was told. One of them was named Christ or Jesus. If you Google Jesus right now, you can do this right now if you want to, Seven. If you Google Jesus Christ right now, you're going to see that white figure, of course, but you're going to see something behind. Reason being, because they have to put the truth out. That's part of universal law.
Hmm.
The sun behind him
Low, right?
is what gives life.
Hmm.
It's for melanated beings.
Hmm.
Facts, facts.
how
S-O-N.
we never wrote stuff down in Bibles. That's why you never find any like words of any sort when you look up, unless you were in a temple like an Egyptian pyramid of some sort. But mostly you're gonna see pictures, because with us melanated beings, we see pictures. That's what catches our eye. Now, if you see that white figure, everybody knows that's like a Pope's son that passed away in his 30s. He passed away for something. But what's behind him is the truth. Because it does take 7 days for the sun to give life on this earth. But it also takes 7 days for that. If that sun went away, it'll take 7 days for this earth to die. Oh, sorry, 6 days. Because the Sunday was a rest day. Or Sabbath,
Yeah,
one of the two.
I think his name was Caesar Borgia, and he was a
Right.
criminal.
And to this day, they still plastered that face on every memorial, every church to this day. You go to the Pope's building, where the Pope stay at, you don't see that white figure. You see a black Madonna and a baby.
Better
Let me
believe it.
show y'all that.
Better believe it. They
You say
switched the
Pope and the black Madonna, and I guarantee you.
they switched the father and son out with the mother and son and kept the mother and son and gave us the father son.
See, the Son of God is S-U-N, not S-O-N. And that's what Tesla was trying to explain. It's not as if you understand the universe, you understand frequency, energy, and vibration. It's not how it's spelled, it's how it's pronounced out to the universe.
And also, there was someone bowing down to the Black Madonna and Child. Are they Catholics? I think so.
Yeah, those honestly, those ones that actually pushed the Christianity on us.
Yeah,
So,
and,
so
and
you'll see in the image, can y'all see this? How they're bowing down to the Black Madonna and Child. They're worshiping see back there.
yeah,
Yeah, and they're bowing down to the Black Madonna and Child.
facts. Good point, Pierre. I think I was sharing that with you before, God, is that they took one of my last video I did on my channel. They took the father, they gave us the father son, and they took the mother son. They switched it out, so they actually got us. Well, they have church people worshiping Lucifer, the Zeus part, but they kept the
Right.
mother son, the original part, is what they did. They switched it out. So that's why black people go through the trials and tribulations they do and are cursed, because they've been worshiping the wrong thing all these years, in the wrong
Exactly.
in the
I
wrong
believe,
God.
I
And look at
believe.
the Pope's headband. That's a fish that represents a fish god. I forgot the name of it, of course. But I got to research that one. But that was a representation of a fish god.
Lucretia Borgia.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Man, Pierre,
CJ
on it, man. It's
Borgia.
like we've been bringing some of the same stuff, Pierre.
CJ Borgia sister, and he was Pope Alexander the Sixth, and he had two kids, Lucrezia Borgia and CJ Borgia, and that's the image they give um us well, that would they praise, and I think it was Michelangelo is the one who actually painted his son, which was I think Michelangelo, I think it was his cousin, whatever. So he painted that image of Pope Alexander the Sixth to give people that visual
Mm-hmm.
um a picture of the so-called Jesus. And you're right, yeah, he was a criminal, he was a homosexual, whatever. And this is the image, um, uh, that they're giving us.
Now,
Heck,
the reason
You know,
why it's so hard for us black folks to turn off the Christianity portion is the fact that when we was little, we used to believe. Well, I'm not saying all of us. When we was little, when we was kids, we used to believe in the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus,
yep.
Ninja Turtles. They were, stuff like that, right? But as we got older, we started to realize they're not really coming in once a year doing this stuff for us. So we grew out of it. Church is every Sunday. It's not. It has a hard time taking it out. So when they started the pandemic, what was the first thing to try to do? They tried to close down the churches. Here's the thing. I don't. Ooh, how can I talk this without sounding weird?
No, break it down, brother. Speak universal from the
I'm. I'm.
universal
I'm.
law.
I'm. I'm.
Universal law. Kick it.
I'm gonna try to say it. Extraterrestrials got something to do with the fact that they had started this closure because they told them their time is up. They better start deprogramming a lot of shit. Hence the reason why the food shortages that you're hearing are the processed food plants. The churches is mainly closing because yes, I ain't gonna say it's gonna be one world religion, but it's gonna be, I believe it's gonna be more spirituality of peace and love. This stuff's gonna have to collapse because through desperate times, that's when the greatest things happen. We're gonna have to lose our conveniency, like the cell phones, this type of technology,
Facts.
because everything that's not natural is normally shaped like a square. Nature moves on the beat of his own drum, and none of it got angles, not square type at least.
All right.
Facts.
So,
Yeah. Queen getting tired. God's getting tired. I mean, look at it.
look,
That yard work catching up.
well, we've been on here for 2 hours and
Yeah.
30 minutes. You know, I like to cut my streams because I don't want them to be too long.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed you all. So if you have a channel or if you have a product, merchandise, service, anything you wish to promote, please feel free to do so. And you can also give us your closing words. We'll start with you, Black Revolutionary.
Peace, peace, peace. Well, thank you for the great energy, as always. I love you, sister, and we can't be ashamed to, show our love, whatever case it's, to our people, because I think that's what we need. We grew up in a society where we are so pinned against each other. We are afraid to really say, yo, brother, I love you, and sister, I love you. Yeah, man. So I love you, brothers and sisters, and just thanks, for sharing that energy with me. And yeah, you could reach me at New Era Nubians on Instagram. They shadow ban me because my sister Seven Wonder, she know what I mean.
Me too. I'm shadow banned too.
I go in hard, whatever. So I mean, I haven't gone back on to see. I mean, if the white man allowed me to post anymore, whatever. But yeah,
Yo,
but
Brody.
just keep strong. We have to stop the complaining. We have to be the change. Don't wait for no one to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna fold my arms and wait for someone to do it. We have to do it all together as a collective. When we uncode, you can't infiltrate a code. That's it. We just have to shut up and just do the work and stop complaining. We all gonna disagree on a lot of things. Okay, you like blue, I like gray, I like black, I like this, whatever cases. You like this color. You like your room to be like this. You like your post to be like this. You like your TV to turn this way. We all gonna disagree on certain things, but look at the things we have in common and look at the things that are affecting us and the people who is against us. That's the thing we need to focus on and stop focusing on the minute things that doesn't really important. Like, I mean, that's not really important. So yeah, thank you, and happy great Black Day to all the Black mothers out there. What I mean? We are, she is the cradle of, of civilization. And we can't wait for no one day the white man say, okay, give props to your mama or your sister or your auntie or your cousin or whatever. We got to praise up the Black woman every single day. And once we
Boom.
do that, and she's in that state of mind, and she's living in her feminine divinity, that's going to make us even much better. And with
Well
that,
Facts.
I
said.
close with that.
Yes. All right, Mr. Stone Cold, what do you have to say?
I don't really have a platform, but I hope y'all do support my man 8 with the 24 because he got a Patreon or whatnot. So support,
Yes.
subscribe to his YouTube. He got some good things going on. I'm I'm self-taught. I'm still teaching myself. I'm reading books and whatnot. So I'm not going to know everything, and I'm not going to say everything that I'm saying is right. I'm not going to say everything I'm saying is wrong. But the only thing I want you to do is think. Open your mind, focus, and understand that is everything what they telling you is not what it really is. Um, Hey, I want to give a shout out to the two brothers also that was on the platform, and thank you, Seven, for giving me this time to express my thoughts and point of views. Um, we have four different vantage points and what we see, and none of it's wrong. In my vision, none of it's wrong. I think we all right, and we just got to stick together, just keep thriving.
Absolutely. And what about you, Spiritual Streets?
Without a doubt, I absolutely want to say it's been a pleasure building with the brothers, with the goddess, allowing her platform to be utilized by us, to with our creative genius, our thoughts, and sharing it with the people, with you too. I definitely want to say it's been a pleasure building with you, brothers, listening to your opinions, your perspectives. Definitely, Brother Pierre. I see you definitely in those books. Brother Stone Cold. Talking at Universal Law. It's just good to see like-minded people. And like I said, one of the things that you don't have to agree on everything, and at the same time, you don't take nothing personal. You grow from each other, and that's how you can be around like-minded people. And so this is just a blessing and a great platform that the goddess is putting together. And I know I'm gonna continue to do what I can to help support her in those endeavors. And I'm like you, brother. BRN. Listen, they took my upload button off of Instagram. I can go up there and chill, but I can't post nothing no more. And never been violated. Never took down a video. The last vid I put up, it was talking about divine feminine applying pressure, but I used the word so just. Oh yeah, that's another thing to the law for agreements. Be immaculate with your words. And I was immaculate the way I broke it down, where they can't violate me on it. So they said, you know what? We just gonna take the upload button. So I hit them up like, hey, my upload button disappeared about 4 times. They never responded. So I knew what it was. It's the shadow ban on the slick way. So I don't worry about it because that doesn't you put it to the ethers and the universe and it gets the people because that's how you get like minded people. Sometimes y'all think of the same thoughts and don't even have to know each other, man. Or you could
Yeah,
put those
word.
thoughts out there. So but Goddess, thank you for the platform, man. And this has been a great day. I forgot it was Mother's Day. I looked at it like it was God and Goddess Day the way we was up here building. So I definitely for real.
Real
So
talk.
yes,
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
yeah, exactly. So I definitely appreciate it, man, and the time you gave me also to speak. And thank you, my brother. 8 with the 24, man. We was going back and forth, making sure we made comments and let you know we was there for you too. But I appreciate you, brother.
Well, of course, I just want to give a special shout out to each and every one of you on the panel. I think you all are very special. I think you have beautiful minds, and this is why, like I said, you have resonated with me. And I think similar vibrations, similar frequencies. We come into contact with one another for a reason, and I think we're all, in our own right, very powerful. I want to thank 8 with the 24. You're here with us in spirit, even
Peace
though
to
you
you,
never
King.
came up. Maybe one of these days we'll get him up here, y'all. He doesn't like to talk. But I thank you so much for all of y'all knowledge, sharing all of the information that you have shared. And to all the people in the future that are going to see this, make sure you please check out all of their platforms and everything they have to offer, because these are some very brilliant melanated kings up here that is sitting amongst you. And so, like we all said, we're not about divisiveness and tearing each other down. We're about building one another up. And this is what, melanated unity looks like over here. So thank you so much, and a special shout out to you all. All right, y'all know what it is.
Peace.
We about to
Oh,
get
hold on,
yeah.
hold on. And one more thing. Yeah, subscribe to Black Revolutionary now. I mean, I'm just trying to build my numbers up. I'm just trying to do what I do, whatever. So, like, everything, you know, starts small and it grows into something colossal. So, I mean, I'm just trying to do my part, man. And, I'm just one piece of the puzzle, and we just trying to just fit together. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to think we're imperfect. By the end of the day, you're black like me and you're thinking like me, man, we good. We good.
It's all about the energy, King.
Yes.
All
Yes.
about the energy. All right, y'all know what time it is. We about to get into it, y'all. Let's see, what do I want to play for y'all today? All right, so we have Samaya supporting Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Thank you for showing that beautiful smile.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Could you tell me what you feel as a brown girl? Could you tell me how you feel about the Brown Girls Are Beautiful?
I think this brand, it really emphasizes how much we need to support Black businesses, and especially as a fellow Black girl yourself, I think we all need to uplift each other, especially with all the hate in the world. So I think having a shirt that can remind you that you are beautiful is definitely a beautiful message.